morning. When I set myself up, I was in the shade. And now I'm not in the shade. I'll squint a little bit to see you guys. Happy Friday, I think. It has been a really long 2 weeks in our household. I know last week after the storm, a lot of people lost power, and it was a long week for some of you guys as well. So, morning everybody. I am feeling really good today. I got to spend some time with a small group of women yesterday, outside, socially distant, safe, and it just fed my soul. It was so good. So I feel pretty good this morning. It's getting hot already. Tomorrow we have our first farmers market, so I'm a little bit antsy maybe about that. So, but it's all good. Everything's great. You can see our peas. I did not know this about peas or about mushroom soil, which I should. Mushroom soil is really high in nitrogen, and nitrogen stimulates pea growth in the foliage, so the greens and the shoots and all that. So our pea plants are 8 feet tall, which is not super typical, but they are huge, and it's okay. They give really good peas. Been snacking on them all morning for breakfast. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see all of you again in person. One of these days. It'll be so good to be back together again. So, the last week, 2 weeks have been busy for me. And so, I didn't have all that much time to think about much other than the stuff that I was dealing with. But this morning I'm going to read to you, actually, because thank you, Terry. We're having they're doing a lot of things to keep social distancing and people separate at the market, so I'm not too concerned. And I got myself one of those face shields so that I don't have to wear the face mask the entire time, because I lose my mind when I wear face masks. I get really silly. I can't think straight. So, yeah, good morning to all the other people who came in and said good morning. The book I'm going to read to you today was given to my kids, and it is probably my favorite book ever. And it's called When God Made You by Matthew Turner. And it was given to them about a year ago, and we read it often. Let me just make sure that we're good for time. Yeah, we're good for time. We do the market in Pottstown at the Smith Street Plaza. It's our 5th year, and we were going to have such a big celebratory year, and now it just looks different. Like most things, there's probably something there I can process, but right now, let's read. When God Made You. Let's see, can you see that? You, when God made you all shiny and new. An incredible you, a you all your own, a you unlike anyone else ever known. An exclusive design, one God refined, you're perfectly crafted, one of a kind. Because when God made you, somehow He knew the world needed someone exactly like you. You, God thinks about you. God was thinking about you long before your debut. From the very beginning, amid history and time, you, little one, or big one, never left God's mind. God imagined your eyes and your head's shape and size. He knew what you'd look like when you felt surprised. God pictured your nose and all 10 of your toes. The sound of your voice, God had it composed. The lines in your hands, your hair, every strand, God knew every detail like it was all planned. Out of billions of faces from cultures, all races, God made people from all different places. God knew your name, your picture is framed. God's family without you would not be the same. 'Cause when God made you, this much is true, the world got to meet who God already knew. You, when God sees you, God delights in what is and sees only what's true. That you, yes you, in all of your glory, bring color and rhythm and rhyme to God's story. Oh look, it's so beautiful. She's empathizing. So be you, fully you, a show-stopping review. Live your life in full color, every tint, every hue. Discover, explore, have faith but love more, and learn and relearn all that God made you for. Use your talents and passions, those gifts that God fashioned. Think up ideas, then put them to action. 'Cause God loves you creating, your true self displaying, when light on the inside through art is portraying. When you make believe, the stories conceived, the heroics, the magic, those tricks up your sleeve. When you dance alone, spinning like a cyclone, being whoever, whatever, in a world all your own. God smiles and here's why. In the spark of your eye, a familiar reflection shines bright from inside. 'Cause when God made you, the world oohed and they awed. In heaven they called you an image of God. You, when God dreams about you, God dreams about all that in you will be true. That you, God's you, will be hopeful and kind, a giver who lives with all heart, soul, and mind. A dreamer who dreams in big and small themes, a one who keeps dreaming in journeys upstreams. A mover, a shaker, a lover of nature, a builder of bridges, you, the peacemaker. A you who views others as sisters and brothers, and lives by 3 words, love one another. A confident you, strong and brave too. You being you is God's dream come true. 'Cause when God made you, all of heaven was beaming. Over you, God was smiling and already dreaming. Such a beautiful book. So, a lot of you already know that a bunch of people in our church are going through something called faith walking. I am doing that as well. And it's walking me through how I show up in the world, alongside who God created me to be and how I want to show up in the world. And it's so awesome that God made us intentionally with all our little quirks. But sometimes life can take what God created and twist it a little bit, and things can get out of balance, which is why it is so important for us to have our community where we can live alongside each other, love each other, hold each other accountable, have people who love you truly for all the parts that you have, the good parts, the messy parts. And we can walk alongside God who speaks, who is near and who loves us, and ask Him to show us what He was thinking when He created us. What was He thinking? I've got 5 kids. They are all so different. They drive me nuts in 5 different ways, is basically what I'm saying. And when I look at them, when I'm going crazy, I try to ask God to show me what He was thinking when He created them. Because when I've got one of them doing her own thing instead of doing what I asked her to do, I think what God was thinking was, hey, she's going to be a problem solver and a plan maker, and she's going to find a really good way to do things. That is part of who she is. Kitty cat! That's where her strengths lie. It's not that she's being bad. So what can I do as her parent to try to make sure that she is formed and shaped to be who God created her to be, and build on that, instead of trying to create somebody that I think would be a good person. And I do that with myself too. Sometimes I see parts of myself that are not so pretty, and instead of trying to create a person that I think is a good person, a better person than me, I should ask God, hey, would you show me what you were thinking when you created this part of me? Because it could be one of my biggest strengths, just showing up in a not so nice way. So this week I encourage you, till Sunday, till tomorrow, till the end of the day, to just have your heart open and listening to what God was thinking when He created you, and what God was thinking when He created the person who's really bothering you or irritating you. Anyways, that is all from me this morning, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!